Watch Dr. Drew's new show at 9 on HLN. Weeknights on HLN.
You trained as a teacher, and you got a teaching certificate?
Correct, yes.
Just the way any teacher would?
Yes. Even as a substitute in Florida, you have to meet certain standards. And so I went through that process.
And anywhere in that process, did you fudge or hide, or did you see things you thought, I don't know if that's, if that violates a morality clause? Or
No. Basically, from what I read from the morality clause is that as a teacher, not that we can bring something from your past and bring it against you as your current role as a teacher.
You can't.
You can't. I didn't read any of that. The morality clause seemed to me as you as a teacher.
Now, your behavior now in the
exactly.
present. Do you, for people that are watching that would say, oh, well, I would have concerns about his behavior now based on his past behavior, what would you say to them?
I really don't understand the issue. It seems like they are equating somebody from the adult industry as a child molester. Like,
well, let's say it's not
that's
that.
Where I get nervous about.
That's a goof. That's a place I'm sure people go.
Yeah.
But let's say it's not that extreme. They just are worried. They're just like, oh, that seems unsavory. I don't want him around my kids for whatever reason. I don't feel good about it. What do you say to those people?
Well, I walked into that classroom and I left my past behind. I went in there as a teacher, and was I ever going to bring any of this into the classroom? No way.
Did you ever have any treatment of any type? And I'm asking this only, you don't have to reveal this if you don't want to, but I'm wondering if there were any mental health professionals that can support your claim for stability and the ability to do your job and that kind of thing.
No.
You didn't feel the need for anything like that?
No.
And then now tell us about your rights as a teacher and being fired. What is your position on that?
Well, my position, and the position that I've always had, is that I was not acting in front of they basically fired me as a substitute because I was acting in front of the camera, because you can Google and find.
So they're saying the fact that there was material available that kids could get exposed to
of
you,
myself.
that's the reason.
Yes.
And you're saying that violates your civil liberties.
Yes.
Okay. Let's take a look at how some of the parents reacted to Sean's termination. Here, look at this tape.
I don't know how I feel about him teaching my children. I'm not sure. Honestly, it's a bit, concerning.
This is Miami Beach. If that was a bar for every occupation, there would be a lot of people out of work in this city.
So it seems that parents are kind of split. They kind of go both ways with this. Have you gotten support from the community?
Yes, from my surrounding community. All of the articles that have been written have been supportive of me and my civil liberties, that I can go ahead and change my career, leave the past behind, and move forward.
You know, I just thinking to myself, it's a cautionary tale about the internet for young people out there. I mean, whatever you choose to do now, whether it's you're sexting or you're being abusive of other people or doing something like Sean did, it will stay with you. People will find it. Now, Sean sought legal help from the ACLU, but they declined to help him, citing the following. Here's their quote. Your case would be stronger if your job did not involve supervising children. It's clear that you had a career in pornography, and it's just a difficult hurdle in view of the state's role to protect children. For these reasons, our chapter cannot take your case on at this time. Were you surprised by that response?
Extremely, because there again, if you read in between the lines, it's equating my past to misuse of children.
Or dangerous behavior around children.
Dangerous behavior around children.
So they're not saying that it's because there's some material out there the kids might get exposed to.
Correct.
They're saying you are going to do something dangerous, and the possibility of that causes them to shy away.
Exactly.
Even the thought of that takes them out of the case. It's a really interesting situation. Can you appreciate that people can understand both sides?
Oh,
of
yes, I understand both sides of it.
Let's take some more Facebook comments here. Here's a Facebook from Shannon. She says, teachers should be held to a higher standard, and if it's a distraction to the students, the adult has to go. And to me, that's kind of one of the things that I know that physicians have to sort of, because we're responsible for people, we have to take responsibility for our mental health and our behavior. We have to sort of do things to make sure that not just our morality, but that our condition is such that we can serve the patients. Is no such thing for teachers? No such check and balance?
I don't believe so. I believe that my past was my past, and I didn't. The thing is, now they know. Now the cat's out of the bag, to say. It was not known when I went to that school, or any of the schools that I taught at.
Let me ask this: were you a good teacher?
I believe I was.
But I mean, did you receive good reviews and everything? And,
yes, and actually the Florida Department of Education called the schools I worked at to ask them.
Let me ask a question. It had not occurred to me until this very second. And it's a tough one. Do you think that that the fact that it's homosexual pornography made it even worse?
Initially, that was my initial thought. In addition, the principal that wrote me up, the principal of the middle school, she wrote there that not that I was a porn actor or involved in the adult industry, that I owned a gay website.